guys, or welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today I am bringing you my must-have mods in The Sims 4. So I cannot play this game without a bunch of different mods that just make it so much easier to play and so much better, and there's just so many mods that I have that I really want to show you guys because a lot of you guys have been asking for a mods video. So here it is. I will link all of the mods in the description below so you can click on the links and go easily to them. But let's just jump straight into the first mod that I'm going to show you. So we're starting off in CreatorSim, and I've made this beautiful sim, Blake Bradley. She's going to be our sim today, and she also has a wee papa called Biscuit. So yeah, this is our wee family that I'm going to be showcasing the mods to you. So the first mod I want you guys to know about is the CAS background that I use. So this creator here, Chris, I'm not sure how you say that, but this creator here, I absolutely adore everything they do. They make a bunch of different mods. They make heaps of CAS backgrounds. They even make loading screen backgrounds. But I do use this live-in CAS background. So let me show you what that looks like in game. So this is the background here. I just think it makes the room look so much brighter and nicer. And I love the mirror. I cannot do CreatorSim without the mirror in the background. I love it. It's my favorite thing. It's such a small mod, such a small detail, but it's absolutely amazing. So that is the first mod that I would definitely recommend that you get. The second mod that is in CreatorSim is the Standstill in CreatorSim mod. Now there's a few different versions of this mod, but I use this one by Helgatisha. So this one basically makes it so that the Sims stand a bit differently. So just here you can see how they all stand. So toddlers do float. I don't mind that too much, but yeah, they stand a bit differently compared to how they would normally stand with no mod installed. So the version that I use is the Standstill in CAS V1.2a package. So that there is just the updated version that includes everything that it says here. So that's the version that I use. So I'll show you what that looks like in game. So this is what it looks like in game. So the Sims stand just in a nicer way, and they don't move at all. So normally they would smile and move around and laugh, which I find really annoying when I'm trying to create a Sim. So this is how they stand, and then when you head on up close, you can see them kind of, they go back to how they would normally stand. So their face is relaxed. You can see what it looks like, if that makes sense. So yeah, this is how it looks in game. I really love this mod. I could not play the game without it. So the next mod is also a CreatorSim mod, and it is the More Columns in CAS mod. So I think normally if you don't have this mod installed, you only have 2 columns that you can see. But with this mod, it allows you to either have 3 columns, 4 columns, or 5 columns. So you can have as many as you want, depending on obviously your monitor size, computer size, but I use the 5 columns in CAS, so I'll show you that one as well. So this is what it looks like in game. So you can see here there's 5 different columns, which makes it a lot easier to see and a lot easier to scroll, especially when you have a lot of CC like I do. So yeah, this is a very helpful mod instead of just having these 2 columns only. So I definitely recommend that one. The next mod in CAS, which also transfers over to in-game as well, is the More Traits in CAS mod. So what this does is it gives extra trait slots. So normally a young adult would only have 3 traits, but they now get 5. So this also works for toddlers. So toddlers now get 2 traits, children have 3, teens have 4, and then young adults, adults and elders have 5 traits. So I really like this mod because it gives your sim more of a personality, because I feel like when the Sims only have 3 traits, there's only so much you can actually do. So I much prefer having 5 traits, similar to the Sims 3 actually. I really love the Sims 3, how you could have a bunch of traits, unlike The Sims 4. So this is a definite must-have mod. So the next mod is by this creator here. I cannot pronounce that at all, so I will these will all be linked down below, but this is the No EA Eyelashes mod. So what this does is it removes the big heavy black eyelash line, or whatever it even is, that the Sims have just naturally in game. So this makes it so that you can use CC eyelashes that make your Sims look a lot better without that blotchy black line. So I'll jump into the game and show you kind of what my sim looks like without the EA eyelashes. So you can see here my sim has some CC eyelashes on. She's also wearing some eyeliner and some eyeshadow, but there is no harsh black eyelash line on her upper eyelid, so it makes it look a lot more realistic and a lot more just natural looking. So that's a definite must-have mod. The next mod that I use for CreatorSim is the Tidy Details and Tidy Tattoos mod by Sparrows CC. So what this mod does is it organizes your skin details and your tattoos into layers pretty much. So it'll be easy for me to show you guys this in game, so I will quickly swap back over and show you what I mean. So when you come into your skin details tab, you can see here that I've got these orange boxes here. So there's forehead crease, there's mouth crease, there's freckles, and there's a bunch more dimples. So what this does is it layers your skin details. So what this does, this allows you to use one thing from each layer. So I could use one of these skins and then one of these skins and layer it over top. So as you can see here, I've got my skin on my sim in the forehead crease layer. And then in the mouth crease layer, I have her eyelashes on. And then again, if you scroll a bit further down, I have some eye bags in the dimple layer. And then so on and so forth. It kind of just goes the same. And then here I've got some more eye bags in the other dimple area. And then you've got hairlines. And yeah, it just makes it so that you can layer your sims and make them look a lot more realistic and just how you like them. So that's a really good mod that I have to have in my game as well. So the next mod that I want to show you guys is the Custom Wrench Icon Update mod by Mizuyuki. So this mod I absolutely adore. So it gets rid of the ugly Sims custom content, the custom content wrench, and replaces it with a really nice looking CC icon. So when you come to download it, you'll see there's a bunch of download options. If you want to get rid of the Sims default wrench, you'd download this custom wrench icon no swatch zip file, and then you would also download the custom wrench icon in the color you want. So I use the green CC option, which it's just like a green color, so you can get blue, you can get gray, you can also get plum bob shaped, you can get purple, pink, blue, black. There's a bunch of different options, but I will show you what my one looks like. So as you can see here, the CC icon is a green color and it just says CC. So rather than it being that ugly blue wrench, it's just a green icon with CC in it, which looks so much better in my opinion. I just prefer it because then you don't have to look at that ugly wrench. But yeah, that is another mod that is very small but adds something to the game that I just absolutely adore. So that is all of the KeataSims mods that I have. So I'm going to jump into game and show you some of the gameplay mods that I like to use. Okay, so the first mod that is gameplay related. So the first gameplay mod that I want to talk to you guys about is MC Command Center by The Sims After Dark. So this mod is, I think, the most important mod in The Sims 4. It just adds so much to the game. So I'll jump into game and show you a bit of the features of the mod. So with the MC Command Center mod, you can click on your sim or you can click on the mailbox or the computer, wherever you need to go, and you get a bunch of options that come up. So what you can do is you can modify your household and create a sim from here. You can also do a bunch of things, like you can modify them CAS through here. You can change their age, you can rename them, delete them, kill them, move them from a different house, set their gender preference, all sorts of things in there. You can teleport them. There's occult cheats, so you can turn them into a mermaid, into a vampire. So these are pretty much a bunch of cheats for The Sims 4, but it's a lot easier to access them that way. There's just a whole lot you can do. So there is also the pregnancy part of it, which allows you to keep track of your Sims pregnancy, so you'll be able to see what they're having and who the other parent is. And the woohoo part of the module is actually accessed via the computer. So if you come over to the PC on your Sims lot, you click on it and go to MC Command Center, you will see here that there is a bunch more options in here. So this is the MC Woohoo part, and you can change a whole lot of settings. You can change all sorts of things that you want, and you can customize it exactly how you want your game to be. It's such a big mod that you just need to play around and see what kind of fits you best. Okay, so the next mod I want to talk about is Wonderful Whims. So this mod basically adds attractiveness, it adds different relationship dynamics, adds impressions, it adds a menstrual cycle, birth control, and different aspects of woohoo. So I'll jump into game and show you kind of what options you get with this mod. So when you click on your sim, you will see this here which says Wonderful. So then you click on here and then you can go to settings. And here you have a whole lot of different options. So you can control whether you want your sim to get infections, you can change the menstrual cycle settings. What it does, it makes it more realistic. So if your sim is on a menstrual cycle and you have it allowing to override the game, what that means is that your sim will have a fertility window. So if we go into our phone and then into the Wonderful tab, and then you go to check period tracker, your sim will go on their phone and they'll, you know, look up their period because It's that easy, isn't it? And then you will get this pop-up. So it says, "Hello Blake, this is your Kaya period tracker report. Currently she is at day 1 of her cycle out of 9 days. Her next PMS is in 7 days, her next period is in 8 days. So her next most fertile day is in 6 days and her next ovulation day is in 7 days. So what that means is that you have to track your fertility in a way to get pregnant. So your sim will only be able to get pregnant close to the most fertile day and ovulation day as it would be in real life. So you can opt to change that if you don't want to have to deal with that, but I really like that part of the mod just to add realism to the game and make it a bit harder to get pregnant. So the next mod I want to talk to you guys about is the UI Cheats extension by Websu. So this mod is another mod that I absolutely can't live without. I use it all the time without even realizing that I'm using it. So what it does is it allows you to cheat your Sims needs easily. You can cheat away moodlets. You can do a bunch of things. So I'll jump into game and show you quickly what kind of things you can do with it. So at the moment my Sim is quite hungry. So what I can do is I can just left click onto there and it will fill her hunger need. So you can cheat needs just like that. You can make everything high, you can make everything low, whatever you want. You can also get rid of moodlets, so you can right click on them and that will get rid of them. You can also right click on your money and add some simoleons, add the galactic credits, add bits, add pieces. You can also cheat aspiration milestones, so you can right click on them. You can also change the game time, which I don't actually recommend because it can kind of mess up your game, so I don't usually touch this one at all. But you can also change the weather. There's a lot of things you can do with this mod. It's another one that I really need in this game, because you know how glitchy the Sims can be sometimes, and sometimes your Sims just won't eat food when they're hungry. So then you just need to jump in there and, you know, click it up and then they're all fine again. So that's a big one that I really recommend. The next mod that I really can't live without in this game is the Better Build By mod by Twisted Mexi. So what this mod does is it adds a lot of other filters in here. So you can turn on Organized Debug, which allows you to see all the debug and live edit objects in the area that they would be. So I've got that on. So if we go into content and turn on live edit and debug, you can see here that in transportation, you can see all of the transportation items are in here because they've been organized by this Better Build By mod. That is also another thing you can do. So if you click on content, you can filter by hiding maxis, you can turn on debug and live edit, and you can also turn on custom content. So if I was to turn off custom content and head into somewhere where I've got some CC, you'll be able to see that there's no custom content in here because I've got it turned off. So and then you can turn it back on, you can see my CC comes back again. Another thing you can do is have move objects permanently on. So instead of having to type Control-Shift-C and then testing checked enable true and turning on move objects, you can just do it through here. So I've got this ticked because I like to have it on. And what this means is that you can freely place an object wherever you want without having to turn the cheat on. So yeah, that is definitely something I always use. There's also ignore unlocks, which allows you to ignore the career unlocks, and deletion protection, which protects against deleting of items. So that is a Better Build By, another mod that I highly recommend for you guys. Okay, so the next mod is the Education Overhaul mod by Adeep Indigo. Now, this mod is amazing. It completely reworks the schooling system for the kids and teenagers. So I'll read through some of the features that it has. So it's reworked the education career. It's added a preschool, so you can now send your toddlers into preschool and they will gain skills. You can also get your Sims enrolled into different schools, so they can sign up for camp, they can apply to Bedlington Latin School, apply to Striker Alternative School, Wintercrest Prep School, and things like that. So they can apply to like private schools, kind of like The Sims 2. There's also virtual school, which you can do on the computer. There is boarding school. There's also more options for homework. So when you click on your Sims homework, they don't just have the option to do their homework. They can do a bunch of other things which will actually build skills. So say you were to click on submit original composition, your Sim would learn the music skills. They'd learn guitar, they'd learn piano, things like that. If you did work on art critique, they would get the painting skill. It also works for children as well. So the children get these options here. So fellow activity chart, which is motor, math problems, which is mental, vocabulary, which is creativity, and social studies, which is social. So I love that feature. I always am using the different homework options. There's also new school projects and active assignments. So instead of your Sims returning home with just a school project that they have to build, sometimes they will have different things. So for example, there's an artwork assignment where they have to spend some time on artwork and painting. There is some music assignments where you have to practice with an instrument, and they work the same as a school project would. So once your Sim completes the project, they will get extra credit gained. So I also really like that, but you do also get those boxes as well that the Sims would normally get. There is also detention. There is new actions for students when they're away, so they can do a bunch of different things at school. They go on field trips. The one thing with field trips is that when they do go on a field trip, they won't get their grade up that day. So what it does is it basically puts your sim on vacation, and then they go to a rabbit hole, which is the field trip, but they won't gain any school performance with that one. So just something to be aware with that. But yeah, there's a whole lot of things in this mod. As you can see, this is a very, very, very big post, and it's absolutely amazing. I absolutely love this mod so much, and it's one I definitely would recommend it to you guys. The next mod is also by A Deep Indigo, and it is the Healthcare Redux mod. Now, this mod here is really good for some realistic gameplay if that's what you like to do. So what it does is it adds sickness and medicines and doctors and immunity and so on and so forth to the game. So there is immune system levels that your sim will randomly generate. There's deadly diseases, there's viral and bacterial diseases, chronic conditions, allergies, injuries, there's surgery, medical emergencies, pregnancy related healthcare, vitamins, treatments, medications, supplements, and there's just a whole lot in this mod. So I'll quickly jump into game and show you a little bit about what you can do with this mod. So if you click on your sim in game and head to the actions menu, and then these three dots, and then Healthcare Redux cheats, you can see there's a bunch of things you can do here. So this is the cheats version, so your sim will automatically get this kind of stuff. So you could be playing your game and your sim might start to feel ill, and then they will go to the doctor and they may have a viral disease or something like that. So yeah, it just shows you here what you can actually get, and you can also cheat it, of course, if you would like to for storytelling purposes. But if you also come on to your sim's phone and go to the A Deep Indigo area and then click on Healthcare Services, your sim will open up their phone, and then here you've got a bunch of options. So if your sim was feeling unwell, you'd click go to the doctor, and then you'd be able to click on one of these. So say they had a cold, they'd probably go to the GP. As well as that, your sim can also go to the therapist if they are feeling any sort of strong moodlet. So if they're in a very sad mood because a sim has passed away, they can head off to therapy. They can also go to the hospital if so they need to. They can go get vaccinated. They can get an allergy shot. They can donate blood. They can also order from the pharmacy and go to the pharmacy if you'd like to get things like that. So if you order from the online pharmacy, you can get a whole bunch of things such as vitamins, cough medicine, just things that you need. And sometimes your sim will be prescribed some medicine, and then you'd click on this here and you'd get your prescribed medicine. So another thing your sim can also do with this mod is get healthcare insurance. So there are a few different options here for what you would like, and you just basically decide what you want. So maybe we want a basic insurance plan, and then it says here this family's insurance options have been updated. So that there just makes so your sim has some healthcare insurance if they do ever get sick. But I will cheat a moodlet onto her so you can kind of see what that looks like. So if we let's add a chronic condition, let's add some asthma, and you'll see here that it comes up, doctor visit needed. Blake seems to be coming down with something. She might want to make a trip to the doctor. And then down here you can see she says a little off. Blake isn't sure what's wrong, but just feels quite certain something's just not right. So here you would go into your phone and then go into healthcare services, and you can see that this specialist one has lit up. So she's going to go off to the specialist, and then she will come back with a diagnosis of what is wrong. Okay, so Blake is back from the doctor, and it says to us, Blake has been diagnosed with a chronic condition, asthma. She will need to learn to minimize triggers such as stress, dust, pollen, vigorous exercise, pollution, and smoke. The doctor has prescribed a Ventolin in case of an asthma attack. Blake can fill the prescription via the online pharmacy. And then she will come home, and we can head over to our phone again. And if we come down to the pharmacy, we can click on this fill prescription, and there is the prescription that the doctor has prescribed, and it will be in your sim's inventory. So when she needs it, she can use her inhaler, but she does not need to right now. So that is pretty much the gist of the mod. It's such a fun mod. I absolutely love the realism it adds. So this mod is also by A Deep Indigo, and it is the dental care mod. So this one works pretty much the same to Healthcare Redux, except it's dental care. So I won't go too much into it, but the sims will basically get the same sort of moodlet, a little off, and it'll say, what's this pain in Blake's mouth, for example. And then they can head off to the dentist rather than the doctor, and using the phone, and then they can get diagnosed. So it works the same, and it also adds a bunch of objects into the game, like toothpaste and mouthwash and things like that. There's also dental insurance, There's health for their teeth as well. So yeah, this mod's just another one that's very similar to the healthcare Redux mod that I really enjoy using. Okay, so the next mod is by Panda Summer, and it is the realistic childbirth mod. So I absolutely adore this mod. It is reasonably new, and it's just so amazingly made. So what it does is it creates a realistic birth for you. So you can read through this entire document here that explains a lot about the mod, but basically what it does is it allows your sim to go to hospital and have a realistic birth. Like, they need to get to 10 centimeters dilated. They can have home births, they can have a natural delivery, a C-section, they can also get ultrasounds now. And the ultrasounds are actually functional. You do need Get to Work for this mod to work, unfortunately, but it just comes with the mod, as it does, you do go to the hospital for it. So this mod just adds a whole lot of different features in. So I really recommend this mod if you are into more realistic gameplay again. Okay, so the next mod I really like to use is the Base Mental Drugs mod. So what this mod does is it does introduce drugs into the game. Your sim can be a dealer, they could be a bouncer, your sim can grow the drugs and things like that. But the main part I use it for is the realistic alcohol, because it does also add that. So what it does is it adds more realistic drunkenness. It adds teenagers can't drink, or a bouncer, if there's a bouncer there, the bouncer will kick them out of the club. So it just adds a lot more realism, and I really do like this game. It is an adult mod, so if you are under the age of 18, they do not recommend that you use it. So that's just an FYI there. The next mod that I really love is the SMB Bills mod. I also use the SMB Financial Centre and SMB Bank mod, but this one here I think is just the one that you need to get. But this one here, it basically adds an overrider bill system to the game. So when you first move into a new lot, this pop-up will come up that says you have just moved into a new house. Your services have not been set up yet. Set up your home services in the SMB Bills app. So then you can come and click on this, and here you have a lot of different options. So if you want to set up your house to have power, water and everything like that, because right now when you first move in, you will not be able to have lights or a shower or things like that. So what you do is you come into home services and you choose whichever one you would like, or you can choose a custom home service. So if you do that, you can choose if you want power, water, rubbish, maybe just cable, internet and cell phone. You can pick and choose what you like, so I'll just get all of it for now. And that is the premium welcome home package. So that then adds the lights to the house. So as you can see, there is now lights going on. We're not in the dark. And then if you head back into here, there's also some other features. So you can get child support through the SMB Bills. So if your sim has a baby with someone and they do not live with you, they will pay you child support. If your sim starts earning a lot of money and has a lot of money in their household, the other sim can actually make a request to stop paying the child support, which I think is really cool. So that's a feature I really like to use. You can also get alimony as well. You can also get a well fund for families if you have not many simoleons, so kind of like a benefit, I guess. You can also manage your utilities, so you can auto sell or store your things like you can with the normal base game. And you also, instead of just having one lot of bills, you have utility bills and property taxes. So every week your sim will get utility bills. So for this lot, my sim will have to pay about 671 simoleons for her utilities, and then every 4 weeks she owes 2,349 roughly. So I think that's a lot more realistic, because you do have to pay property taxes in real life, and I just think it makes a lot more sense. So that is the main gist of this mod. You can also change a bunch of settings if you would like. I leave this all pretty much the same. You can turn auto pay on if you would like as well. The next mod that I really love and need to use in my game is the Relationship and Pregnancy Overhaul mod by Limpinu. So this mod adds a whole lot to pregnancy and relationships in The Sims. So what it adds is it adds pregnancy and family preferences, reactions and impacts, there's fertility and protection, there's woohoo transmitted diseases, paternity testing, teen pregnancy, temporary separations and relationship breaks, cheating, insemination and surrogacy, adoption expansion, custody and permanent separations, termination of pregnancy, pregnancy side effects, pregnancy and family tweaks, romances and friendships. There's a dating app, and there's also a chemistry system. So as you can see, there is a lot of modules to this mod. So when you come into game and click on your sim, you will see here that it says relationships, family and pregnancy. So if you click on this, you can use the mod to kind of just see what's going on. So we can go get tested for WTDs if we had a moodlet. You can get HIV preventative medicine. You can go buy woohoo protection items. You can also cheat as well and give them some woohoo side effects. In the romances and friendships tab, you can also do a bunch of things, specify your turn-ons and turn-offs, you know, just change a bunch of things. There's also fertility. So normally what you do here is you would go to the doctor to evaluate your fertility and health risks, and then they would go off into a rabbit hole and they would come back with a number of how fertile they are. So if we just go into here, we can see. So Blake has 29 out of 100 fertility. So she doesn't have the best fertility. 0 is infertile, but she would still be able to get pregnant. So that is a really interesting aspect of it as well, because it makes it more realistic. You can also change their thoughts on having children. You can also decide to get artificially inseminated. You could become a surrogate. There's a whole bunch of different things, and you can also adopt through this as well, which is a more in-depth adoption system rather than the base game one. So that mod there is another one that I really recommend for you guys. There's just a bunch of things in there, and you can also remove any of the modules you don't like. So say you didn't want the woohoo transmitted diseases, you could just not install that module into your game, which I think is just amazing. So yeah, that's a really good one that I enjoy using quite a lot. So the next mod is a smaller mod, and it's the Sims Get No Fears mod by Tears of TYR. So I absolutely hate the fears in The Sims 4. They really, really, really irk me to the bone. So I use this mod to get rid of them, and what it does is it just makes your Sims do not get fears whatsoever. So that's pretty much it. It's just, if you don't like the fears, you can get this. There are other mods out there that adjust the fears so you get them less, but I just would rather not have them at all. So I use this mod here. The next mod is another small mod by Little Miss Sam, and it is the Quick Shower and Quick Bath mod. So the Sims shower and bath for a very, very long time. It's about 2 hours in game, I swear. So this mod here allows the showers to be 5 to 10 minutes in the Sims game. So very, very quick, and their hygiene fills up all the way as well. So definitely a mod that I must have in my game. So the next mod I really like to use is the Controllable Pets mod. This mod just pretty much allows you to control your pets like it states. So I will jump into game and show you that with our puppy Biscuit. So as you can see, Biscuit is just laying here, and I can click on him down here and I can see his needs. So what this does is pretty much just makes him an active sim in the household. So I can get him to come over here and whine about not having any food. And if I get Blake to come and fill up the pet bowls, he can come and eat the food as well. So it just allows you to interact with them and make it so that they're not just doing nothing. So then I can get him to come and eat the food. So here he is eating the food after I've just told him to. And once he's eaten, he can come here and he can come and sleep. You can just do a bunch of things with them. You can get them to get a toy. He can come and chew the toy. It's just a mod that I really enjoy using rather than not knowing what my pets want at the time. So that's another one that I really recommend for you guys. The next mod is a bit of an override, I guess. So it is the A Better Pie Menu mod by Anders. So what this does is it overrides the old pie menu when you click on the fridge or the computer or your sim. It just categorizes it into sections. So when you come into game, if you click on your sim, you can see here this one says activity, and you can do all the activity things. You can change outfit, change into new, you could be gross, flaunt wealth. It just categorizes it for you. So if you click on the fridge, you'll see here that the section is have lunch, and you can have lunch or serve lunch. You can make a special recipe, and then in here is cook, canning, bake, and grand meals, as well as animal treats and wedding cakes. You can make a stack lunch, and you get the options in there. Utensil preference. So yeah, it just categorizes it a lot nicer than it does normally. And also on the computer, as we just saw, household, there's a bunch of different things in here. Order, it even orders this into hobby, health, gardening. It's just a mod that I find quite helpful. So skills, you got writing, program, comedy. It organizes the games into here. And yeah, it's just organization, and I love organization, so I'm all for this mod. The next mod is the Granny's Cookbook mod. Now this mod I absolutely adore because it adds so many new recipes into the games. So as you can see over here, I have got the Granny's Cookbook here. What you can do is you can come in here, once you've downloaded all of the recipes from the post, say you wanted to cook a breakfast meal, you click here, and then you've got a bunch of different options. Also gives you more options based on your sim's cooking skill. So since my sim only has cooking level 1, she can only make these things. But if I was to cheat her skill to level 10, okay, my sim has magically reached level 10. So now if we come into the Granny's cookbook into breakfast, you can see that she can cook a whole lot more things in here. I'll get her to cook something. Let's cook up some berry Belgian waffles. Let's cook a family size. And I'll show you kind of what the foods look like. Okay, so Blake has just finished with the waffles and this is what it looks like. So the textures and the way that the food looks is amazing. I absolutely love this mod so much. There are so many different options of food as well. You can make appetizers, which is a whole bunch of things. You can make a barbecue meal if you have a grill outside. And you can cook meals, so like dinner, which is where the bulk of it is. You can also grab snacks for a toddler. So if you had a toddler, it would say grab snack for toddler. And then you can grab them out, whatever you'd like. But yeah, the Granny's Cookbook mod is one that I can't live without. I love making the food from this mod. Okay, the next mod is another mod that I absolutely love. It's the Don't Wash Dishes Where You Angry Poop mod by Leroy Detout. It was updated by Leroy Detout. So I don't know if it's ever happened to you, it probably has. But my Sims like to wash their dishes in the toilet while my other Sims are using that toilet to take a dump. So this mod basically gets rid of that. So when you click on a sink, you can disable dishwashing. So this is the kitchen sink, so we want to keep that enabled. We can go through each of the bathrooms and click disable dishwashing. And then we can head upstairs and do the same up here. So they cannot wash their dishes in any sink other than the sink downstairs in the kitchen. So yeah, basically this mod just allows you to stop them from washing their dishes in the sinks in the toilet, which I absolutely love. I love the mod so much. The next mod I want to show you is the Bed Cuddle mod by the Pancake One and Mazor Yuki. So as you can see here, Balagoth and Mortimergoth are having a cuddle in bed. So when you have two Sims that have romantic interests with each other, and they're sleeping in the same bed, they will cuddle throughout the night, which I think is so adorable. And in the morning they can wake up with this really cute moodlet saying love is comfort. So this is another really small mod that just adds so much to the game. The next mod, which is on the same kind of wavelength, is the No Z's for Sims 4. Now, the Z's when they are sleeping are so huge and it drives me off the wall. So this mod gets rid of them completely. So as you can see, Blake is currently sleeping and there are no Z's coming out of her head. So we can see what she looks like and we can take cute little screenshots if we would like. It's just the best mod. I could not recommend this mod more to you guys. So the next mod that I want to show you guys is the Newborn Override by Al Craze again. So I cannot live without this creator's mods, seriously. As you can see here, the babies look absolutely adorable. So this is a baby boy with no bow and this is a baby girl with a bow. So this is how they look in game. The mod now works as well with default crib replacements, which is great. Alcraze does recommend a certain default crib, but you can use other ones as well. So that brings me on to my next override, which is the default bassinet override. So this isn't the one that Alcraze recommends for her baby override. This is the one I absolutely adore using. So I use it in the pine color, which is this light wood here. So Alcraze does say that a winged llama default crib will make your baby look blocky, but it still works. So yeah, this is the default bassinet override by a winged llama. So if you want to find this bassinet in the game, what you want to do is type in the rock by bassinet and then click on that. And then you're going to see here that it is the default base game crib. But when you actually place it, it is the default replacement crib from a winged llama. So as you can see here, it is in the pine color. And it is absolutely gorgeous. I love it so much. But yes, it does look like this in the catalog icon, but it is the default crib. So those two overrides are the overrides that I have to have for my babies in my game. Okay, so the next mod is another override mod. So this creator, K-Hippie, has created a lot of different overrides for the environment of your Sims game. There's a nature mod here, which gives you updated grass textures and updated plants and trees. This one here replaces the foundations and roofs in the game to make them more realistic. This one here is an override of this one here overrides all of the base game worlds with different grass, and this one here is the floor paints as well. So I use pretty much all of these mods in my game. So with the K707 mod, it says here, will it break my game? Will it slow it down? And they do have here that it will slow your game down a wee bit. So that's just something to note with these mods, because since they are such big overrides, they may slow your game down if you have a lower end PC or maybe are on a laptop or something. But that's just something to be aware of. You could always give it a try and see how it runs. But yeah, that's just an FYI. Okay, so the next mod that I really like to use is the Sims 1 and 2 font replacements by The Pancake One and Mazor Yuki. So I use the Sims 2 font replacement, and what it does is it just changes the font of the game, because we've all seen the Sims 4 font for so long, and I just really enjoy having the new font. So yeah, that's pretty much all it does. It's another aesthetically pleasing one, and yeah, I just absolutely love that mod. The next mod that I like to use is by NV Games, and it is the Motive Fail Energy Animation Replacement. So what it does is it changes the way your sim passes out when they are very tired. So instead of them doing the bum in the ear, they pass out like they would when they die, which is a little bit scary when you've got an elder sim. But I much prefer it, so I will jump into game and show you quickly what that looks like. So if we use our trusty dusty UI cheats, we can click here and make Blake really tired. And as you can see, she's about to go and pass out and have an energy failure. As you can see, she passes out in a different way to how she normally would. So that is pretty much that mod there. I really enjoy this version of them passing out rather than the bum in the ear, but yeah, I just thought it was an interesting one to show you guys because I really enjoy this mod. The next two mods are by the creator Robin, and they are small overhauls. So this one here is the small vegetarian overhaul, and basically instead of your sim having the entire vegetarian trait taking up a whole trait slot, you can click on your sim and click become a vegetarian, and then it becomes a reward trait for them rather than just a whole personality trait. So that is the small vegetarian overhaul, and then there is the lactose intolerant overhaul as well, which does the same thing. So you click on your sim, you click on make this sim lactose intolerant, and then it becomes a reward trait for them as well. I just don't like how lactose intolerant and a vegetarian, it's a personality trait for Sims, you know. I just don't think that's a personality trait. So I really much prefer using this version and making it a reward trait, because it works the same anyway. They will still only eat vegetarian food or only eat food that is lactose intolerant for them. The next mod that I want to show you guys is the UI Normal Sim Pictures by Leroy Detout. So what this one does is it gets rid of the faces that your Sims make when they're in different moods. So as you can see here at the top, the Sims are in a mortified mood here, and they have the same faces they would if they were fine. Whereas down here, the Sims base game is just when they're hysterical, they have this crazy face going on. So I really enjoy this mod because it just makes your Sim look less crazy. I'll quickly jump into game and show you kind of what I mean. Okay, so currently Blake is confident and she is looking like she is fine. So if we get rid of the confident moodlet, this is how she looks as fine. So if I just give her a random moodlet, so if we make Blake enraged, you'll see down in the bottom left corner that she does not have the enraged face that they would normally have. She just looks like she's fine. So I much prefer that because they look crazy down here when they have those faces going on. But yeah, this is another small mod that I just really like for just aesthetics again, I guess. Okay, so the final mod that I want to show you guys it's not really a mod per se, but more of an override. It is the map replacements by 20th Century Plumber. So I use these map replacements because I think they just look so cool. So they've got a bunch of the worlds here, and you just download them and it replaces the map. This is the map replacement for Willow Creek. So it's, as you can see, there's a lot more going on, and it looks normal to me now because I've just used them so often. If we come into Oasis Springs, this also looks very different and built up. We've got San Myshuno also has a map replacement. I'm pretty sure all the worlds have a map replacement except maybe Copperdale. Oh no, Copperdale does also have a map replacement too, I think. So yeah, this mod just basically adds a bunch of overlays for the maps. It makes it just look a lot nicer when you're, you know, browsing and where you want your sim to live. Forgotten Hollow looks like this. Looks really cool. You've got Moonwood Mill, which looks like this. There are also two options for Strangerville, Moonwood Mill, and Forgotten Hollow. So you can get the dark version or the light version. So this is the light version of Moonwood Mill, but you can get a dark version. So yeah, they've just got all of their map replacements on their Patreon. It is 20th Century Plumber. So those are all of my must-have mods for The Sims 4. I really hope that some of you got some new mods out of this video. I tried to show you guys pretty much all of the mods I use in my game. This is pretty much all of the main mods I use. There are a few other ones, but these ones I just cannot live without. So I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Let me know what you want to see. But yeah, I will have all of the download links in the description below for you guys. So you can just click on those and go straight to the creators page and download them from there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Also, thank you so much for over 800 subscribers. That is absolutely insane. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers, which is mad. I cannot believe it. So thank you guys so much for the support. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one.